Everyone knows Big Ramy is past his prime, and it's unlikely we'll ever witness his peak physique again. Yet, with rumors of a return at the 2025 Mr. Olympia, or perhaps the 2026 Arnold Classic, the key question is what level of Big Ramy would be required to surpass Samson, Dauda and the rest of today's elite, and could it be enough to re-establish dominance at the sport's highest level? The last time we saw Big Ramy on stage was at the 2023 Arnold Classic, where he finished 4th in a stacked lineup, though many felt he was overlooked. Just a few months earlier, at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, he entered as the reigning 2-time champion, but disappointed with a 5th place finish. Recreating either of those versions won't be enough against today's lineup, which has only gotten stronger since his absence. Instead, I'd point to his 2021 Olympia winning physique, while many overlook it since it wasn't as dominant as his first victory in 2020, it was still a very strong package. In my view, if Ramy can replicate that look, he'd be right back in the conversation for the Olympia title. Remember, Ramy belongs to the elite tier of all-time genetics, and he doesn't necessarily need to be 100% to contend for the win. He brought that look only 4 years ago. He's still just 41 by the 2025 Olympia. And with rumors of stem cell treatments plus the benefits of a 2-year layoff to the body, it's not impossible to imagine him recreating that 2021 version when he returns. And to show just how good Big Ramy really is, I'm putting his 2021 version, which wasn't even his best, against today's top 4 Olympia favorites at their peak looks. Samson Dauda with his 2024 Olympia physique, Hadi Choopan with his 2024 Arnold physique, Derek Lunsford with his 2025 Arnold physique, and Nick Walker with his 2025 Pittsburgh physique. Imagine all of them standing on the same stage at the 2025 Mr. Olympia or the 2026 Arnold Classic. Why not? Especially since they raised the prize money more than the Olympia again for $750,000. Now, looking at these 5 super athletes in the front double biceps pose, opinions and preferences will naturally differ. I reckon most people would lean towards Samson, since many fans prefer his incredible overall flow. Others, like myself, might favor a more polished look like Hadi or even Derek, judging by these particular versions. Nick, meanwhile, has the weakest flow here, but he's the only one with truly world-class arms, followed by Big Ramy. Nick can also hit the other variation of this pose, but in my view, he should go for the vacuum. Not because it looks extraordinary on him, but because it makes his case undeniable, given he's already the best in so many other aspects. But I digress. This video isn't about Nick, it's about Ramy, who could actually be preferred in this pose over all of them thanks to his larger stature compared to Nick, Hadi and Derek, who are all shorter bodybuilders, as well as his overall mass and superior arms to Samson, all while still looking surprisingly aesthetic for one of the ultimate mass monsters in history. In the front lat spread, I have no doubt that Ramy is the favorite. At his prime, he arguably had the craziest front lat of all time. This version isn't quite that, but it's still top-notch. His insanely wide clavicles, massive quads, and relatively small waist make for a dominant combination. Samson and Hadi look strong here too, but Samson simply doesn't have the lats to challenge Ramy. And for Hadi, it's more about overall stature than width. Meanwhile, Nick and Derek are left battling to avoid last place, most likely with Nick coming up short. The side chest is another pose dominated by the Egyptian, as at his best he arguably had the greatest side chest of all time by open bodybuilding standards. You've probably noticed his low stance, which makes him appear almost the shortest on stage, but the way that side leg pops makes it all worth it. On top of that, he has some of the biggest pegs ever, matched only by Samson here, but Samson lacks the same level of polish. All 5 look strong in this pose though. Nick brings insane thickness with the best arms and shoulders, Hadi looks incredibly aesthetic, and Derek might be second to Ramy with his dense upper body and the second best lower body in the lineup. The back double biceps is the pose where Big Ramy unfortunately lands in last place. His lower lats are basically non-existent at this point, and while his upper back and overall look are still solid, that flaw is far too glaring, especially against these four, who all look strong from behind. Hadi and Samson can't quite match Nick and Derek here, who clearly battle for the top spot. But with these versions, even as someone known as a Nick Walker fanboy, I have to give the win to Derek, and honestly, it's not even close. This pose from Derek is so good it belongs in the same conversation as Phil Heath and Kai Green in their primes, in my opinion. Ironically, in the other back pose, the lat spread, Ramy and Hadi are probably the top two, a complete contrast to the back double where they were battling for last. Ramy still lacks lower back muscle density, but in this pose it's less obvious. Combined with his incredible size and width, he can actually be considered one of the favorites, even against Nick and especially Derek, who are both known for their great backs. Samson looks solid here too, but he still lacks the overall lat density to truly contend. In the end, this pose probably goes to Hadi Choopan, but Big Ramy is definitely in that conversation as well. The side triceps is easily my favorite pose in this comparison because honestly, they all look like they could win it. Every single one of them is strong here. Nick Walker brings the best triceps and an overall freaky look. Samson looks absolutely statuesque in this Dorian-esque pose, despite what Tyler Mannion says. Big Ramy once again shows off the craziest side leg in the lineup, along with a massive overall frame. Hadi is the most polished and aesthetic in this shot, while Derek arguably has the best execution and a complete balanced look. It's nearly impossible to say who takes last place here. Honestly, it might be easier if we had the footage to judge transitions and presentation. This one is truly too close to call, so I'm leaving it to you in the comments. Who do you think wins this pose and why? In the abs and thighs, the clear winner is Hadi Choopan. No debate there. Nick Walker also looks insane in this pose when he keeps his midsection under control. Samson at the 2024 Olympia looked very flattering in abs and thighs. The lighting and presentation made his abs appear sharper than they really are. He almost looked like he could challenge Hadi here. But we all know that's not the case. Derek is arguably in last, while Ramy, considering he's one of the ultimate mass monsters in bodybuilding history, actually looks pretty solid. His abs are defined and his quads are still great. I know many of you today prefer classic physique lines and aesthetics, but for someone like me who appreciates the true mass monsters, this look from Ramy is impressive. In the most muscular, if I ran a poll asking who the most muscular bodybuilder in this lineup is, I'm confident Big Ramy would dominate. That alone keeps him right in the conversation for this pose. His chest, shoulders and even arms look great here, and with his lower body fully flexed, the overall package is simply incredible. Samson looks massive standing next to him, the fullest of the bunch, but lacks polish, arguably being the least conditioned. Derek looks decent but softer through the upper body, and we know this has never really been his strongest pose. Hadi is razor sharp, and if not for his shoulder and arm imbalance, he could easily run away with this shot. Nick Walker might be the most balanced overall, with nothing really missing. In my opinion, aside from maybe Derek, this pose could go to any of them, including Ramy, depending on what you value most. The conclusion of this video won't be a full ranking from 5th to 1st. That was never the purpose here. On this road to the Mr. Olympia, I'll be doing in-depth comparisons between Nick, Samson, Hadi and Derek, since they're the true frontrunners right now. The purpose of this video was to highlight that Big Ramy could still chase the big prize if he shows up in solid shape, something close to his 2021 Mr. Olympia look. While that wasn't his best, it was still a physique strong enough to put him in the conversation. Given his age and the fact that he's been away from competition, it would be unrealistic to expect his all-time peak. But a 2021 level Ramy, that's still dangerous and more than enough to make things very interesting in his potential comeback.